The night was endless, heavy with the scent of wet asphalt and thunder still echoing beyond the hills. Rain streamed down the window of the small apartment where Marta sat alone. Her fingers traced the lines of raindrops as if she could find meaning in their motion. Every flash of lightning painted the room in silver for a heartbeat, and in that brief light she saw him again, Alexei. He used to say that after every storm the sun must return. She had believed him once, the way people believe in miracles. They met one spring evening in the city square. The air smelled of lilac and warm pavement. The world felt new. He was there with his guitar, singing for strangers. His voice wasn't perfect, but it carried something raw and alive, a truth she couldn't name. When their eyes met, he smiled, a small, shy curve of lips, and changed his song mid-note. From that moment, every chord belonged to her. Love came fast, like summer lightning, bright, dangerous, impossible to look away from. They shared a single world: old records, cheap coffee, midnight walks beneath flickering streetlights. Alexei would write songs on scraps of paper, and Marta would lie beside him, listening to the sound of his pencil scratching, a rhythm she could fall asleep to. But time has a cruel habit of stealing what feels eternal. When autumn came, his laughter changed. He started spending more nights away, returning with the smell of bars, smoke, and exhaustion. She tried not to ask questions, but the silence between them grew, deep and cold as water. Then, one evening, with rain tapping on the window just like tonight, he said the words that shattered her world. "Forgive me, Marta. I have to leave no explanations, no promises, just a quiet resignation in his voice, as if he'd already said goodbye 1,000 times in his mind." When the door closed, she didn't cry right away. She just stood there, listening to the echo of his footsteps fade down the corridor, the last rhythm he would ever leave her. Years passed. She learned to breathe again, to laugh without meaning it, to wake up without expecting to hear his guitar in the next room. She worked at a small bookshop, spent her evenings with novels instead of people, and told herself that forgetting was a kind of peace. But every time it rained, the ache returned, quiet, steady, merciless. Then, one gray morning, while walking to work, she stopped in front of a poster plastered on a brick wall. "Alexei Danilov, World Tour." There he was, smiling from the paper, older but unmistakably him. Her breath caught. He had made it. The dream he once whispered about when they shared a single umbrella under a storm. It had come true, without her. That night, she bought a ticket. The concert hall was vast, filled with faces she didn't know, all of them waiting for him. When the lights dimmed and the first chords filled the air, her heart stuttered. He stepped into the spotlight. The same posture, the same hands, but his eyes, they were different, deeper, haunted. He began to play a song she knew too well, the melody he had written for her. Her chest tightened. The crowd cheered, unaware that the song was a ghost, their ghost. When it ended, she wanted to run backstage, to say something, anything. But she stayed in her seat, frozen. She knew she was no longer part of his story. Outside, rain was falling again. The streets shimmered with reflections, neon lights swimming in puddles. She walked without direction, her coat soaked through, her hair clinging to her face. And for the first time, she realized how tired she was, not from walking, but from waiting. At the riverbank, she stopped. The city's hum was distant, softened by the rain. She took a piece of paper from her pocket, one she had been writing and rewriting for weeks, and read it one last time before folding it neatly. "I loved you so completely that even silence between us sounded like music. But now, let that silence become peace. You were my first song, and you'll be my last." She placed the note in her coat and stepped closer to the edge, her reflection trembling in the dark water. When they found her the next morning, the sky was pale and calm, the kind of quiet dawn she had always loved. News of her death reached Alexei 2 days later during his tour in Prague. At first, he refused to believe it. Then someone handed him the letter, the original, found in her pocket. He didn't perform for 3 nights. When he finally returned to the stage, the audience noticed the change. His eyes hollow, his voice quieter, as if every word cost him something. That night he played a new song. No lyrics, just a haunting melody that rose and fell like rain against glass. When it ended, the hall was silent. He whispered into the microphone, "For Marta." And the world outside the hall began to weep. It rained, soft and endless, as if the sky itself mourned with him. He never spoke of her again, but every Xiao,